Hello, today we will be folding an Origami Bouncy Unit Icosahedron designed by Tom Hull. This is a great modular model and it's not very difficult to fold. This model requires 30 square sheets of paper. Each unit is folded from one square, and in order to fold each unit, you'll eventually divide the paper into fifths. So instead of approximating, I'll teach you how to make a folding tool which will help you divide the paper into perfect fifths every time. You will need one additional square of the same size for the folding tool, so you'll need a total of 31 equally sized squares. I recommend using 3-inch squares to fold the units, and using 3-inch squares will result in a model about this size. We're going to start by making the folding tool, so take one square and make sure it's the same size as the other 30 squares that you'll use for the units. And once you have your paper, then we're going to start by folding in half diagonally, so take this bottom right corner and fold it up to the top left corner. Align the corners and the edges, then make your crease, and then unfold. Now we're going to align this bottom edge with this diagonal crease that we just created. So we're going to start by pulling up this bottom edge, and start in the bottom left corner and work your way over to the right, aligning the edge with the crease. And once the entire edge is aligned, then you can make your crease. So once you have this, then you can unfold. Now we're going to align this bottom edge with this crease that we just created. So we're just going to start by pulling up the bottom edge, and again you want to start in the bottom left corner and work your way over to the right, aligning the edge with the crease. And once the entire edge is aligned, then you can make your crease, and then you can unfold. Now we're going to rotate the paper just like this so that all 3 creases come to an intersection in the bottom right corner. And once your paper looks like this, I want you to notice where the last crease that we just made intersects with this top edge. They intersect at the point that I've marked here. Now if you were to extend a vertical crease downward from that point, you would make a crease that marked exactly 1/5 the length of the square. So now what we're going to do is pull over this right edge here until it reaches that point of intersection that I just showed you. So we're going to start by pulling over the right edge, just like this. And you'll know that you've reached that point of intersection when you start to see this crease intersect with the top edge. And once you've reached that point, then you want to make sure that the top and bottom edges align, and then you can make your crease. Just like this. And once your model looks like this, then you want to rotate the paper, and then your folding tool is complete. Now we're going to work on our first unit. So take one square and make sure it's the same size as the square that you use for your folding tool. Now I'll be using paper with color on both sides, but if you're using paper with color on one side and white on the other, then start with the white side up. And once you've prepared your paper, then you want to slide it inside of the folding tool as far as it'll go. You want to make sure that the left edge of the paper aligns with the left edge of the folding tool. And then once you have this, you want to align the right edge of this paper with the right edge of the folding tool here. So just pull both edges together, just like this. And once they're aligned, then you can make your crease. So once you've made that crease, then you can pull the paper right back outside of the folding tool. And once you have this, then you simply want to rotate the paper. Now we're going to fold the bottom edge of this top layer up to align with this top edge here. So we're just going to pull the edge up like this. And once both edges are aligned, then you can make your crease. And once you have this, then you want to fold this bottom edge up to align with this edge that we just created. So we're going to start by pulling up the bottom edge. And once both edges are aligned, then you can make your crease. And once you have this, then you want to turn the model over. And from here you want to fold the entire model in half. So what we're going to do is take this bottom edge and align it with this top edge here. So just bring both edges together. And once they're both aligned, then you can make your crease. Now we're going to fold up this left edge and align it with this top edge here. And we're going to do that by pulling up this bottom left corner. And you want to make sure that you pull up all 5 layers. And from here you want to align both of the edges at the top, just like this. And then you can make your crease. And once you have this, then you want to rotate the paper and do the same exact thing with this left edge here. So once again, we're just going to pull up this bottom left corner. You want to make sure that you have all 5 layers, and then from here, you just want to align both of the edges at the top. And once they're aligned, then you can make your crease. Now we're going to fold up this bottom edge and align it with the vertical edge of the corner that we just folded up. So we're going to do that by pulling over the right side of the model, just like this. And then what we want to do is bring the two edges together. So just bring them together like this, and then you can make your crease. And once you have this, then you want to turn the model over and rotate it so that you can do the same exact thing on this edge here. So once again, we're simply going to pull up this bottom edge and align it with the vertical edge of this corner here. So we're just going to pull over the right side of the model the same way we did before. And once you have something like this, then you want to make sure that both edges align, and then you can make your crease. And once you've done that to both sides, then your model should look like this. Now we're going to fold up this bottom corner and align it with this point here. So we're just going to pull it up like this, and once both points are aligned, then you can make your crease. And once you have this, then you want to do the same exact thing, but this time you want to take the top corner and bring it down to this corner here. So you're just going to pull it down like this, and once both of the corners are aligned, then you can make your crease. And once you've done that to both sides, then your model should look like this. Now we're going to fold these two triangles in half, and we're going to start with this one on the left. So we're just going to take this left corner and fold it over to the right corner of the triangle here. So we're just going to fold the entire thing in half, just like this. Then you can make your crease. And once you have that, then you want to do the same thing on the top by taking this right corner and folding it over to the left corner, just like we did before. So again, just fold the entire triangle in half, and then make your crease. And once you have this, then you want to slightly unfold the model. So just pull apart on both sides. Then you can turn it over, and this is one completed unit. Now you must fold 29 more. Once you've completed all 30 units, you're going to need 2 to start the assembly. Then, look at one, and you'll notice that it has a small flap like this on each side, and it also has a small pocket underneath this top layer here on each side. So from here you want to take a second unit, and we're going to insert the first unit's flap inside of the second unit's pocket. Now we're going to start with this second unit, and we're going to open up the pocket a bit by simply lifting up the top layer here. So we're just going to pull it up like this so that you can see the layers underneath. And once you have this, then you want to take the first unit's flap and insert it inside of the pocket as far as it'll go. Now while you're doing this, you want to make sure that the diagonal creases on both of the units align, just like this. Then you can simply slide the first unit's flap inside as far as it'll go. And once both diagonal creases align, then you'll see that you've connected these 2 units. Now that you've connected 2 units, you want to connect a third unit the same way. And we're going to do that by inserting the second unit's flap inside of the third unit's pocket. And again, we're going to start with this third unit, and we're going to open up the pocket by lifting up this top layer here. Now you just want to lift it up enough that you can see the layers underneath. Then you're going to take the second unit's flap and insert it inside of the pocket as far as it'll go. You want the diagonal creases to align just like it did before. Then just push the 2 units together, and once the diagonals are completely aligned, then you'll see that you've connected these 3 units. Then once you have this, you want to connect the 4th and 5th units the same way. Once you've connected all 5 units, you want to make sure that you insert the 5th unit's flap inside of the 1st unit's pocket. So the easiest way to do that is to open up the layers of the 1st unit and separate them enough that you can fit the flap inside. Then take the 5th unit's flap and you're going to insert it into the pocket as far as it'll go. Again, you want to make sure that the diagonal creases on each unit align, so you're just going to push the flap inside as far as it goes, and as soon as the creases align, then you'll see that you've connected all 5 units. Now you'll see that you've connected 5 units together and you've made one of the vertices of the icosahedron. So now that you've made one vertex from these 5 units, you're going to continue making vertices the same way. So continue adding on to each of these 5 units and make 5 new vertices exactly the same way we did before. And as you're doing this, you'll notice that triangles like this will begin to form. And as you can see, each triangle is made up of 3 separate units, and the only way to close up the triangle is to connect the 3 units together. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're just going to connect them the same way we did before. And as you're doing this, you're also creating one of the 20 faces of the icosahedron. So this is one of the faces, and what you want to do is continue adding units the same way until your model has a total of 12 vertices and 20 faces. And once you've connected all 30 units, then your Bouncy Unit Icosahedron is complete. I hope you've enjoyed this video tutorial on how to fold a Bouncy Unit Icosahedron designed by Tom Hull. Please comment, rate, subscribe, and thank you for watching.